Hi, I'm Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a double book review for a couple of really great indie titles that I was lucky enough to get copies for review from the authors, and they have a lot in common. They're very different, but a lot in common because they both have to do with dealing with past trauma and the mental weight of dealing with traumatic pasts. They're very different. We have In Darkest Dreams by J.P. Graves, which is a horror book with a creature in it, creature feature, kind of a cosmic story, and Sacrilege by Barbara Avon, which is, I'm trying to figure out how to describe the genre. I'm going with general fiction, dark general fiction, perhaps dark romance, but it doesn't feel necessarily like a romance, but there is a romance in it. They also both got 4 stars from me for slightly different reasons that I will get into. And let's start with In Darkest Dreams by J.P. Graves, which was originally published on September 15th, 2024. It was published by Twisted Tree Publishing. And In Darkest Dreams is about 2 friends, Mark and Steve, who are veterans, and they were in World War II together, and they have PTSD and they have trouble dealing with some of the events from the war, and they join a fire watch in Wyoming, the mountains of Wyoming, in 1957. So they are at this isolated fire watch tower in the mountains, and there's going to be a big bad storm. They decide they can ride it out. They're going to stay, but that means they'll probably be stuck up there for a while. Communication might be more difficult. And just so happens during this time, there is a creature that comes into play that can warp reality, warp how you are perceiving the world, and really makes you face some of the past and the traumatic events that have happened. And so this fire watch, getting away from it all, quickly turns into quite a nightmarish situation of survival, and it's very psychological and felt like cosmic horror. Very good story. I really enjoy stories about trauma, dealing with trauma, facing your past. And this book was really well done. And Sacrilege by Barbara Avon was originally published October 27th, 2020. Sacrilege is about Chris Corelli, who is a ex-priest. He's left the church because he's dealing with alcoholism, and now he's kind of in this in-between phase where he's trying to figure out what is his life if he's not in the church. And especially since he's had a crisis of faith, and he's staying at this boarding house, which is run by Jules, who is a beautiful young woman with a very tortured past. She's got a lot of trauma as well. And this is in 1985. They find some comfort in each other. Bit of a love story weaved in here. But it is, a tortured one because they are definitely going through it. This is a story of trauma, and it seems like it has every possible trigger warning in here between the two people's stories, the other people living in the boarding house, their stories. It does flashbacks to some of the confessions that Chris heard in his time in the church, and so that adds to the mix as well. So it's a book that tackles pretty much all forms of trauma. But what I will say for Sacrilege, the bright shining element of this one is the writing. I thought it was super well written, with lines, descriptions, turns of phrase that just had me eating them up, wanting more. Just beautiful. Read that again. I mean, it flowed well. It sounded nice. In my head, I would say some of the lines out loud. It just felt nice. Flowery, which is pretty impressive considering the really dark and not lovely subject matter, written in a very lovely way. These were both short books, under 200 pages, taking on themes of trauma, both set in past historical times, one in the 50s, one in the 80s, and they're both really great short reads that are worth checking out. I'll have more information about them linked down in the description. I'd love to know if these sound like books you'd be interested in checking out, and I'll be back very soon with another book-related video. Thanks. Bye.